Wildlife Studies class. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about trees. I'm in my backyard today. It's nothing much, but I have a large maple tree in my backyard, and our attempt is going to be we want to try to age it. Okay. We know that if we look at the rings of a tree after we've cut it in half, we can count the alternating rings and figure out how many growth seasons the trees have. There's a device that's able to take a small core out of the tree that can do the same thing without killing the tree in the process. Or you can use a method that we're about to do, all right? Using just a tape measure and some math and a little bit of some previous data, we can get a pretty good guess on the age of the tree. All right, I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so hey, this is what you're gonna want to do. You're gonna want to identify what tree you're gonna be aging, and then you want to measure out chest height on that tree. It doesn't have to be a fancy measurement, but roughly 4.5 feet off the ground is what our index is going to use. And then you want to take your tape measure and you want to measure the distance around said tree. Okay, that's what the circumference is around that circle. I'm struggling here. It's harder than it looks. Anyway, we're going to measure it around at chest level. We're going to get a measurement. The measurement I may get here is 6 feet and 3 inches. That's going to be 75 total inches. That's what you're going to be using for your math, is we're going to put everything in total inches. And then before we do the math, you're going to want to make sure that you have access to this sheet that is also in your assignment. It's the growth factor worksheet. And lastly, make sure the trees that you pick are listed on that sheet. There's a lot of them there, but if your tree isn't on there, then it's not going to work. So we have gotten the circumference measurements on our 5 trees. Next up, we just have to do a little bit of math to figure out the diameter and then the age. You guys know how to do it, but it's geometry. Maybe it's been a while. Hey, first up, what you have to do is you have to be able to know what species it is that you're looking at. All right, and make sure that species is on the list of trees that are offered. Next up, our circumference. So on the video, mine was 6 feet 3 inches. That equals 75 inches overall. We need to have it in the whole thing in inches. And then we need to calculate the diameter. If you remember back from geometry, circumference is going to equal your diameter times pi. So if we know the circumference and want the diameter, we're going to divide both sides by pi. Okay, so I got to take 75 inches and divide that by 3.14. We get a diameter of 23.9 inches, which seems right. If you think about 2 feet in diameter. So we have our diameter. Next up, diameter here. We have to multiply that by our growth factor. That's where we got to use that chart. Okay, for silver maples, that growth factor is 3. And so if we take our answer from the previous question and multiply that by 3, we get that tree is roughly 71 years old. All right, so it's been there for a while. You should do that with the 5 trees that you've picked. All right, if you want to use my example here as one of them, that's okay. But really go out, you'll be able to find 4 trees. That's not too hard. All right, guys. Good luck on that math. Fill out that chart on the Word document, and then you're going to turn that in.